You ready for this? All right, Rob. From the top. A one, a
A
two,
two,
a
a
one,
one,
two,
two,
three.
three. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another Hotline Miami level letter tutorial video. I'm your host, as always, Rob Salmon, and with me is.
And this is Matt. So, Rob, what are we talking about today?
Well, we've taught you how to make cutscenes. We've taught you how to make levels. Now I'm going to teach you how to put those things together and show it to the world. We're talking about campaigns. Now,
Wowee. Let's get started.
as we told you already, you hit escape and A to access your campaigns. Here's all the ones that I have locally on my hard drive. You hit tab. Here's all the ones that I'm subscribed to currently. You hit tab again. This is all the ones that I've uploaded to the workshop. Now, if I want to make a new one, I hit C, just like when I want to create a new level, and it'll give me this. So, this, ignore everything in the background. I don't even know why it has this, but this box here, basically you're able to select your intro, your main, and your outro. Think of it as from the original game, where you have your intro, where you wake up at your house, the main, where you do all the killing, and then the outro, where you talk to Beard and he gives you free shit. That's pretty, you can't really deviate too far from that with the editor. And so the way you do this is, first you can name it. So we're going to name this editor tutorial. Oh, I ran out of space. We'll just keep it like that.
Yeah, I even know there's specific characters that you can't exceed. But
yeah. Well, we can extend this with Notepad, but that's for a different video. And then so you click add, and it'll give you all your single levels that you have in your on your hard drive. So basically, usually there'll be a cover like these. These are level max future levels. I'm sorry that I'm spoiling these for the level. I should have deleted them.
Stop fucking showing them.
Yeah. I promise. This is the only sneak peek you're gonna get. And so you just click the one that you want. So we're gonna find the one that I have labeled as intro. That's not it. It's a different one. Yeah, right there. So you add that. So you have to make them all as single levels first. But we've already kind of shown you how to do that. So then we find our main one. I think it was editor one. There we go. Select that, and then outro. Select that. I named it end, and that is literally it to link them all together. So you just and then so that's like one level. And so like when you open the campaign, this is you'll see the editor one's cover, and when it'll load the intro, then you'll get the title screen with the name of whatever this one is, and then once you finish the score screen, you'll get this. And so to add the next thing, you would hit plus, but we don't have anything to show currently. So you click save, and it goes. Now don't mess with anything here. Just now that you've saved, escape, and it'll take you back to the home page. And you go back, and we have this. And so you pull it up. You see, since there's no cover here, it's just you're just gonna get that gray thing, and you can just keep adding more and more. I've never actually tested if there's a limit to how many levels you can have in a campaign.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a limit, but basically the structure of it obviously is like your intro, main combat level, and the outro, and the transition to that next section of your secondary or second intro, main, outro is basically that palm tree transition with like the city or whatever. There's like backgrounds too. I don't know if you said that with the
Oh yeah.
Campaigns.
You can this changes what on this specific level the loading screen looks like. So the city's the default blue one, and then the rest I think are all the same, but for the different soldier levels, right?
Yeah, night is like it's like a dark blue with like an orange and red font. That's for like ambush. What's it called? The first spirit level.
Ambush.
Ambush. Day is I don't know what. One of them is Stronghold.
I think
that
Day is
font, and then the
Stronghold,
other...
and then Eve is like Casualties.
Yeah, and like Casualty is the one that looks kind of weird. It's like a green and like bright red orange. I don't know.
I think they're cool looking, but the default one is City. That's for Miami basically, and so now we want. So now we have our first, and if I'm not going to show it to you for the sake of time, the whole thing being played together. But now, say you want the second level to actually. Actually, let me show you. So you load it up, and you get the choice to skip or not. So we're not, and so we're gonna start here. Oh boy, here I go killing again. And then see you get the loading screen. And since we had it under city, we're gonna get the city one. And that's it. Oh yeah. Throwback to if you watched the first episode. Now you see the word Texas here. That's the state. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I remember doing that in the first episode. And so then you play it, you get the score screen, you get the other one. Now, say you want to, the next level, you want him to also start at his house. There's two ways you can do it. The terrible way, and then the intelligent way. The terrible way is remake the entire thing from scratch.
The painful way.
The painful way, yes. Or, what you can do is you can quit out of the game, and we're gonna mess with the files.
Yeah, believe it or not, we are exiting out of the editor to a new world.
Leaving the editor and going to reach new frontiers. Matt can't see what I'm doing now because I am broadcasting through Steam, or was. So Matt, you're going in blind.
But I have my imagination.
Hopefully none of my files will be embarrassing. Promise I have no porn on this.
I can see the porn wallpaper now.
There we go.
Just kidding.
So it's been a while since I've actually pulled up the actual, gone the long way because I have shortcuts. But basically, you want to do, I think, documents. Yeah, you go to documents, you go to my games, you go to Hotline Miami 2, and you'll get these three folders here. Let's make sure this is still recording. Yeah, we're good.
I agree with the finding levels. That's exactly how I do it. My games, Hotline, and then your three folders.
I have some shortcuts here, which I would suggest if you're going to get into level editing, you create a shortcut so you don't have to go through that whole every single time you pull it up. And you open levels, and you'll get singles and campaigns, which, you know, this is the file for campaigns, this is the file for single levels, and you'll get them. Now, if you create them, you'll get just this jumble of just garbage here, and you can rename it once you actually know. And the best way to know what level you're actually talking about is to open the HLM file in Notepad, which we'll get to in another episode. I think next episode, actually. Oh boy. But the other way is just to look at the most recent by the date modifieds. And I've already renamed these. If you right click and hit rename, or I guess undo rename. So if I want to rename this, see, it doesn't affect anything, just so it's best if you rename it so you know what you're doing when you go back to it. And so I want that intro and all of it to be, so I copy and I paste it. Here we go. And now you'll have two identical intros. So we will pull up Hotline Miami again. So now that you've got the game back booted up, we look for intro, and now we have two of them. And so you open this, and so now we want him to say something different. So instead of saying, "Oh boy, here I go killing again," we will delete all of that, and this frame. So if you ever play Human Being 1, you'll notice that in his house he always starts at the same location, and that's because I couldn't figure out how to move the character. Well, that was because back then I was an idiot. So you click add trigger, and then you just click once, and the trigger will go away. And this will allow you to erase the character and put them. Let's have a watch TV. Yeah, and well, you know, just add action, add dialogue.
Yeah, don't do like Hotline 1 and have the character starting in one room the whole campaign.
Where did Hammer go?
For your intro.
Fuck. Yeah, he's upset he has to go kill people now, and misses soaps. So stop sequence, scene complete. Okay, and that's literally it. So now we can go back and find the campaign, click edit, and we hit plus and over the arrow, and now you have this. And we can add, we could add our intro if we want. Another thing is, if you open up the original intro, there's actually no, I forgot, I should have renamed it like intro 2, so you won't like, so you obviously know the difference. But say I find the original intro, or say like there's something on editor 1 that I want to change, and you have to change it through the single level and save it, and then go back and click add and find editor 1 again and select it. This will be the exact level that you made when you clicked add. So say I delete everything off this level in the single version and make something totally new. If I go back to the campaign, it'll be the original thing. So
yeah, I was gonna say too, at least with labeling or titling your level files correctly, at one point, if you make a complete 3-level campaign, if you think about it, and you have intros and outros, you'll have 9 different level files. And so if you have like the title of your combat level is called like death or some shit, I'll usually do the intro like death intro and then death outro, just have the level title within the level name, just to, that's like at least my organization, because at one point you're going to be working with a lot if you are truly like making a campaign. But yeah, just consider that and just making it easier on yourself.
Right. So I didn't rename the intro there, so I'm not going to put it in here. So that's about all you need to know for stringing levels together. The other thing is you need to make sure you have an intro, middle, and end. You can get away sometimes with only having like an intro, but the game sometimes will crash if you only have like the intro and the main. Or the other thing is, if you have like intro main with no endings, you'll get the title sequence for the next intro as well.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So, whoops, I didn't do that. So, say I had an intro and an editor, and I didn't add anything, and then on this second one, I had an intro and an editor. When you finish this main and the score ends, it'll go to this intro, but you'll get the title sequence, so it'll be something stupid like intro 1. And I've seen a couple kids with like amateur campaigns put that out, where like it's not even named anything besides like, you know, something informative.
It's like numbers.
Yeah. So the way to get around that, and I did this in Berlin Blitz, is if you only have an intro and a main and an intro and a main, instead do intro main and then make the second intro the outro, and then only have the main. Because you can also, say you only want combat levels, you don't want any of this gay story shit, you can just do mains, and as long as you don't add anything, you're good. And make sure you don't, because you can't take it away once you add something. Like, you can only replace, you can't delete entirely. You'd have to like restart the campaign.
And honestly,
like, it wouldn't be a huge
when we get to like publishing, the editor itself will make you like playtest the entire campaign before you publish it. I mean, that goes for single levels too. But during that time, obviously, like look at your level transitions and how it's like laid out to make sure it's like smooth and doing what you want it to.
Yeah. If you back out of the test, like the final, like you need to prove that this is beatable before you publish it. If you back out, it'll just cancel it and it won't be a big deal. So there's one last important thing to tell you, and that is a music glitch. So in the first intro, if you play it and if you had music on, you would have heard the song. But if you start the next one, then like even though you have like the music set and it's by default should work like a normal level, because of 9 months, for some reason it won't work. So you have to add a music command if you're going to do a secondary thing. And it's super easy to do. Let me show you. So I'm going to open up the second intro. And delete the frames. And so within the same frame as the action, I'm going to add action, play music. Just choose literally the same song that you have like set already, and that's it. And that's kind of how you fix it. So, and depending on how you end your intro, you might also have to start the actual campaign, the actual main one song. So I think if you end with a fade, the song will carry over.
Yes, I think that's true.
Yeah. So exit the car, that's just fine. Like, you don't have to do anything. But if you end with a fade, for some reason, that say dust that I chose right now, that'll carry on into the main level. So transition. Yeah. So add frame, add action, next level fade. Make sure within that same frame you add action and choose another song to play. Otherwise, you're going to be listening to the cutscene song again, and that is dumb. Or it might be like what you want. If you play, you can use it to your advantage too. If you play Being Harder in Human Being 3, it opens up with Sex.
Human Being 2.
I think it's Sex Killer. Human Being 2. Yeah. The intro of Being Harder opens up with Sex Killer on the Loose, and like when you run down the stairs, it'll flash the word. And like the song will keep playing, but that was intentional. So, if you want it to be intentional, that's how you do it. If you don't want it to be intentional, that's how you fix it. So now let's get rid of this second floor. Yeah, there we go. So now we want to add credits because we want to give. So if you use someone's mods, someone makes a level for you. And whatnot, then, or you just want to, pimp your own shit, then you type in the title, which is the first bar, and the name, which is the second bar, and then there'll be like a chunk of space. So it will be like, created by Rob, and then you add it, and it'll reset, and you can kind of like preview this, and then...
Doesn't it, like, you have to use both lines? It's not something like with, cutscene dialogue for the credits, you have to use both lines for it to like submit or add it. Is that right?
Pardon? Can you repeat that?
So for adding credit, like the text that you're putting in, will it let you just use one line, or you have to put both of them, type something in both lines for you to add it?
Yeah, you do have to do that. So if you want like nothing in the second line, just hit spacebar once.
Or you could put like a period and it kind of like separates it, but
I mean, you can see a period.
True. I don't know, for some reason I did that. It's funny now because I even think about the spacebar thing, because I think I tried that, it wouldn't let me, but you'll like see it when...
Spacebar, add, and then...
Yeah, when you do it though, it'll like obviously, it'll preview what's going to show, and it's almost like if you use Microsoft Word, and you use like the center margin, it just spaces everything like that. So I mean, it looks good. So
yeah, it's the same like white background. The font. You've played campaigns in the level editor before, I hope. And then the last thing is.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the audience.
Oh, back to point.
Yeah. Domestic issues aside, I only have one cover in my files. So how do you add these mythical things? And how do you add them for your singles? So when you actually like load up the level like this. So how do you get this not to be gray? Well, we're gonna take a nice journey to the soon to be dead Microsoft Paint.
Whoop whoop.
And I don't know if they're just gonna delete Microsoft Paint off my computer, or if it's just not gonna be on new versions or something. But yes, they are discontinuing Microsoft Paint. Yeah, it's tragic. It truly is. So basically, there's two sizes of covers. The one for the single levels and like each individual level in the campaign is 34 by 57. The one for the actual campaign is 41 by 65. So let's size this to 34 by 57. I think you can just, yeah. So do 34 and turn off maintain aspect ratio by 57. Okay, and that just automatically sizes it. And there's obviously you can do other programs. MS Paint's the easiest, and so you can just draw whatever you want. So
A kind of a weird process that I do, like not if I just like need to just put out a cover, but I'll typically go on Google and type in like stuff related to my level, and I'll literally take that image, crop it, and then literally shrink it down to the 34 by 57 and just even see if it looks good. And that's kind of how I did in the beginning, and I mean, I kind of do it from time to time, but I think starting out though, like just see, like you can even have like a kind of silhouette of like some soldier, but just mess around with it. And I'll usually take that and just edit it in like a program like paint.net, but just kind of find a process of whatever. Like some people do it from scratch, which I definitely respect, but that's just how I've been doing it.
yeah, you have complete freedom within those 34 by 57 pixels to put whatever you want. Just save it as a PNG file. So we're gonna name this tutorial cover, and instead of saving it in downloads, we are going to go to Hotline Miami 2 and open up the covers folder. Now if you don't have a covers folder, you gotta make it. Just name it covers. Same with like making a mods folder. If you don't have a mods folder already, type in the word or hit the little folder button here and type in mods, and the game will know what to do and save it there.
Yeah, and obviously, like he just said, make sure it's a PNG file, because even if you drop that file in the right place, the cover folder, it still won't register it in the game if it's not a PNG. So just keep that in mind.
And it has to be this exact size, or it won't pop up in the game even if you put it in the folder.
It's like, nope, do it again.
Yeah.
My girl, talking about my girl. Okay, we're gonna cut that.
No, that is staying. There you are. So now you see this box here, you click it, and now you have all your options. So here we go. Choose that, and save it. And the editor likes to fuck you sometimes by changing your folder or your cover for no apparent reason. So just make sure, like, when you're applying it to your campaign and stuff, that you have the right one. Also, and you'll notice the background is red. We showed you in the first video on single levels, you can change the background to a bunch of different things. Campaigns, sad glitch, those go away. You'll, by default, always have the cyan. You can't have red, you can't have trees. Cyan only, so don't be confused when you lose it.
Yeah, so you got that badass Final Cut vibe level. All that shit goes away, like the thunder, the rain. Like that's not the rain. Just like there's I think it's a black and red, not like brown and something. Yeah, where it's like the rain. So yeah, if you're making a campaign, sadly, that shit is no mo. But there's a workaround that we'll talk about, and I think our next video actually. So
it's not really a workaround; it's a substitute.
It's a good substitute.
Okay. Yeah, it's Matt's special secret substitute. Alright, so now we have the two covers done. We can save it. Yes. And now we have our campaign. We have our covers, We have everything. So now we want to upload to the workshop. But wait! Do you want your level to get ignored? The best way to get your level ignored is to not have a workshop thumbnail. Now, what are you talking about, Rob, with a workshop thumbnail? So, currently today, the workshop is being very bad and not giving me a good example because a level without a thumbnail is the top. But that's only because I promoted this level because this is a good level. Shindig is a good level. It has my seal of approval.
It is a good level.
Pretty much everything else you'll see has a cover. Oh, also, for all you Ruskies out there, Human Being 3 is or Human Being 1, sorry, is available in Russian, so you can.
Wow, what a tease!
What a tease! But so this is the top, and almost everything has a cover. And then you go to most recent, almost everything doesn't have a cover. So and pretty much like people are gonna think your level is shit, and no one's gonna give a shit about you if it looks like this.
Yeah, we're not picking on anyone, but it just helps.
No, it absolutely helps. Like,
just
this is a fluke.
I was gonna say publicity, but I don't think that's the correct.
The only reason I even like looked at this level was because I like the name Shindig.
Yeah,
so
I thought that was witty.
Otherwise, I would have ignored it. So, Rob, if you're so smart, then how do I even add a workshop thumbnail? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a little bit more backdoor than the other one. The other one had an official way to do it. This one, not so much. So we're going to open up GIMP, which is my go-to software for Paint. It's free to download, so there's no reason you shouldn't have it. It's either that or, I think, Matt, you use paint.net, right?
Yep, you got those two. You can do GIMP, paint.net. They both are great programs. It doesn't matter which one you use. But yeah, that's definitely the two that you should definitely consider when you're either editing covers or, like we're gonna do right now, is making a thumbnail.
So
or even never mind.
Yeah, so you have two options or I guess you have a bunch of options, but the two best options for a thumbnail for the workshop is either 1024 by 1024 or 512 by 512, and that's because it'll like be the best shape. Otherwise, like it's not gonna fill out the square perfectly. So,
yeah, it like stretches out. Like I'm sure most people have seen that, but with these exact dimensions, you're gonna get like a perfect just fit with the workshop preview if you see the top rating. Because don't you want your level up there looking good?
So now that we have our cover, and this we export it. So you find it, you click copy, and then you go back to your level, or your campaign actually. So you find campaigns, and I haven't renamed this file. I am recording, right? Yes. Okay. You find the file, and I can tell because this is the only campaign I've fucked around with today. So I open it, and we get this whole bunch of files of just all the files for the intro, the main, and the outro, plus a couple others concerned with campaign. But at the very bottom, you'll find screen, and it'll be a little PNG file. You take that screen, just delete it, and then you hit Control V, and now we have this, and we want to rename it screen.
So I was gonna say, if you have like multiple campaign files, just to be sure, you can double click on that screen PNG file, and I think it'll be the thumbnail of the intro cutscene possibly, and just to be like, oh, okay, this is the right campaign. But yeah, continue.
Yeah, it's a good way to check actually, if you've messed with a whole bunch of stuff. So now we have this. Now a little word of warning, the size of it is important. Anything under 250 KB is good. I think anything over will cause issues. There was like, I remember I fucking uploaded Human Being 2 like 8 times because I had a way too big size of it. And you can like go online and find like compressing websites where you upload your image and it'll like shrink the size of it, and I think that's what I did.
So it just like it wouldn't show it, or what happened with it?
Sometimes the first time it was so big that like when you hit publish, and it'll be like, okay, you gotta play it. And I play through the entire 12-level campaign, and it goes publishing, and it just like disappears, and it gives you like no indication that it's published, and it wasn't published. The second time it published properly, but it just didn't. It like rejects this screenshot, and you'll get the like Hotline Miami 2. I think there's actually an example currently.
It's like a default, yeah.
Yeah, it'll give you like this one, like literally nothing. And so I went in and I compressed the file like shit, so it would be small enough. So under 250 will work. Maybe shoot for 200. So, alright, so now your level is perfect. You have perfect, beautiful dialogue cutscenes, great designed levels with perfect enemy placement, well-designed covers that convey the emotion of the scene with perfect artist talent. So now you're ready to show it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you're ready to show that shit to the world. You hit. Yeah, make sure I got the right thing selected. You hit P. It's like, if you want to publish this, you got to beat it first. So you click yes, and it'll launch. And now, before we finish it, let's talk about what the workshop. This will save you some time. To like previews on the workshop. So you can upload video and images to the workshop to like show off. So what I would suggest is you screenshot a couple things.
Yeah, while you're going through
so
it.
Like on my computer it's F12, and you save a screenshot.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little like glitchy when you're doing screenshots. It's just like loading. But yeah, like I said, when you're going through playing it, obviously have a good eye with like catching any details you might want to edit out or something that you caught.
Yeah, you can always just back out and fix it.
But yeah, take a screenshot. Like the best screenshot for each level. I've also seen too where people have a scroll of like screenshots, and they have like the level title, the screenshot of like the loading screen, of like the city background and the level, and then like the title screen again. I can't think of a good example, but it's almost like that's kind of not a waste of time, but just have good screenshots per each level, like 2 maximum, and I would say you only need about like a maximum of like 7 to 8 pictures of like what you're publishing, but again, it's your call. So
and then you get your credits, and if you're happy with everything, just sit through your credits. I think you can hit escape to forward them if they're too long.
Yeah, it'll still do it.
Yeah.
You can escape.
And then it asks if you want to publish it. So you click yes if that was good enough, and this will take a little bit of time.
Yeah, hopefully your game doesn't crash as it's publishing.
Yeah, sometimes it is. So now you have this level editor tutorial. You can edit the title and the description to like maybe include like tutorial, and then be like hammer 1 level easy, because I mean that's usually a like in the parentheses of the title to like tell people what your thing is, and then your description you talk about what it is.
Yeah, I would say the standard is either the beginning is like what character it includes, whether that's for a single or a campaign, and then how long it consists of, because it could be like a campaign but it's 1 level because it has an intro and an outro, or just one or the other. But like standard would be like hammer 6-level campaign, and usually I put like the difficulty, so I might put like medium to hard difficulty, and then that's it. That's like a good brief summary, I guess.
Yeah, and you don't have to edit in while on that like window that the game has opened for you. You can also just open up Steam straight up. So let's go to let's go to my profile, get my workshop items, and
Yeah, should we, do you want to talk about what to put in the description?
what would you suggest?
I would say, um, beginning, if you have a campaign, possibly have like a really, really brief summary. Like we're talking like an elevator pitch of what your campaign is about without giving away too much information.
It's Die Hard, but in an old folks' home.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Maybe like if you're fancy, you want to do like a character bio, something brief, just like who's who, kind of towards um, the lax sections. I'll like give credit to like people who've play tested my stuff. When we get to modding, you might have people have like done sprites for you, and I don't know, just overall like quick things or whatever you want.
Mod, like
But
what they replace.
yeah, and I think too, for at least me, like I don't like super lengthy descriptions. Near the bottom, I think it says, or the top, you can create a discussion, and if you do, in fact, when we get to music mods, if you want to like publish what your soundtrack consists of, I just do that separately in a discussion, and that way people can post additional questions if they're just like, oh, this song, blah blah blah, and I don't know. That's just me though, so
That's
you can
good.
either.
That's a good thing. I've never actually utilized the discussions.
There you go. And I've had people start discussions too, but it was more so like asking about modding, which is kind of stupid. Like you can just put that in the comments, but yeah, it just you like I said, just put the tracks in the description or just make a discussion. It's up to you.
Yep. Now one thing, once you publish it, it's not live for the world just yet. There's one last step, and that is to change visibility. And it's not really that advertised. So I've had a kid who published it and just didn't change the visibility. So make sure you click it to public.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. And do it pretty
Why
quick.
is no one seeing my shit?
Yeah, because literally, like, he didn't change it from friends only for like a week, and it's not like the minute you change it to public, it pops into the most recent. Like, now that shit's way down. Like, it's technically already like pushed way down. It'll pop up like way if you like page 5 most recent instead of page 1. So make sure you do that on the pretty quick, and then add and edit images and videos. So this is where you can add like previews, and you can choose a YouTube video if you recorded yourself playing it, or choose the file of the image. I took some screenshots, so you know you go and you find the screenshots, you upload them. The other way is to like put them on Imager or something. I think that's the way I do it usually because it's easier.
Also, yeah, with the description, take advantage of how Steam does formatting, because you can do like bold or like underlined letters. So like not just like you don't have to go all out and make it fancy, but just I think it's in the lower left hand says like formatting help, and if you want to post like links and stuff, you like it'll show you how to do like a URL and all that. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so you click upload, and then you have your little, and I think you can rearrange these if you've never messed with the workshop before. This is easy peasy stuff. And so now, like, literally people can subscribe to it, and let's see if it's shown up in most recent yet. No, it takes a little bit of time to pop up in most recent.
Yeah, I want to say like half hour or two.
Yeah. But like it's already in my activity feed, so now everyone on my friends list is gonna be like, "What the fuck is this shit, Rob? Kill yourself." So yeah.
It is shit.
Make sure that your campaign is perfect before you upload it. You can edit it later on, but there's a good chance that it will delete your custom cover. So, like, say, like, oh shit, I published it, but I realized something's broken as fuck. I'm gonna just, you can click publish on it, and on the thing that you already published, and do, go through it again, and it will update, but it very often deletes the custom cover. So I would make sure
I think
right the first time.
Yeah, I had a Jake level that total loss one, and I think multiple people report that there's like multiple entrances, and with those transitions, it was super buggy, and people were like being teleported outside the map, and I was like, had to fix it obviously, and so being that, I had the risk of losing that thumbnail, which I'd rather have than having a bugged out level and people being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, you maybe if you just like delete the screen again and replace it. But
Yeah, I think that's what people do because I don't know who had to do that. It was like some
yeah,
maybe it was
the point is just don't publish broken shit, dude. Just have someone playtest your
Yeah.
level. The other thing
that's what
with the files is if you don't want to publish your level so a friend can play it, you can find it and like take this entire file and upload it to Dropbox, and then they copy paste it, put it into their version of single, and then they can play it. They can also edit it.
yeah.
And that's how you do like
The workaround too. Yeah, with it said like the publicity or visibility of your workshop items. Like the other workaround is just doing friends only.
All right. Well, I hope this one was helpful for you, and you learned a lot. So I look forward to seeing all your brand new awesome campaigns. Please ask me any questions you have in the comments. Tune in next time for good old Notepad++ and the new magic.
Yeah, we definitely got an interesting video next time. So yeah, stay in tune for that.
Yeah, goodbye.